All right, what's the best age for federal employees to retire, and is age 62 worth the wait? Look, I got to start by saying there's no right or wrong answer to this question. Retirement's super personal, and if you're in a position to retire early and maybe leave a little money on the table, that's completely okay. The age you're ready, both financially and emotionally, that's a big part of how you retire well. Digging into the possibilities, exploring those possibilities, using the numbers against the emotional part of that decision, well, that's just smart. That can help you make the best decision for you. Hey guys, I'm Justin. I run a wealth management firm in Northern Virginia. We help people in their 40s and 50s answer questions just like this every day, and we've helped hundreds of federal employees on their way into retirement. So let's get back to the question. What's the right time to retire? How much money do you need? What's realistic here, guys? So age 62 is a focal point, especially for federal employees, and with good reason. Let's take a look at a few of the considerations. All right, first on my list today is the 1.1% multiplier on your FERS annuity. I'm always amazed how overlooked and sometimes unknown this little secret is, right? So if you retire at age 62 with 20 or more years of service, you become eligible for an increase to 1.1% on your FERS multiplier, above and beyond the most typical 1% multiplier. That's a 10% raise on your annuity income. But the key is you have to have those 20 years of service and retire on an immediate annuity. The only exceptions to these rules are going to be disability, as well as special category employees can be eligible immediately. It's also important to note deferred or postponed retirements are also not eligible for the 1.1% multiplier. So is this a big deal? I mean, it could be. It's a 10% raise to your income. All right, so let's look at an example. We're going to take an employee that's age 60 with 25 years of experience, a high three of $150,000 a year, and they're considering retiring now, age 61 and 62. So if they retire now, currently their pension would be $37,500 a year based on 25 years in the 1% multiplier. Now, if we go out to age 61, we're going to index their salary by 1% for inflation. So the high three goes up, and that's now $151,015. You get 26 years of experience towards your calculation times 1%. Now the annuity goes up to $39,390 a year. Okay, so a little bit of a bump there. Now, if we go out a year further to age 62, the salary index for inflation by 1% comes up to be $153,015. 27 years of experience times the 1.1% multiplier gives us $45,445 a year. So a pretty big jump going from 61 to 62 because of that 1.1% multiplier. Looking at the numbers, it's fairly significant on a percentage and a dollar basis, and it works out like this. Going from 60 to 62, that's a 21% jump in your benefits, right? $7,945 a year in annual benefits added to your pension. If you go from 61 to 62, a little bit less of a jump, but still very significant, 15% or $6,055 a year added to your pension. So does this matter? You can see how that translates to your situation directly. Another thing to also consider is the 1.1% multiplier could be a way to offset the survivor annuity cost, right? So in order to maintain your FERS employee health benefits, you must have a survivor option on your annuity. That costs 10% for the full benefit. This could be a way to offset that cost. The next item on the list is the FERS annuity cost of living adjustments, the COLAs. So you do not receive a COLA on your FERS annuity until you hit age 62. The only exception to this, disability, CSRS, or special category employees. So that means if you retire and you hit an inflationary environment, you could lock in a permanent reduction that's pretty significant to your benefits, right? Of purchasing power. It's not actually going to take away your benefits. It's just going to reduce the purchasing power of those benefits, okay? So what does this mean? Let's look at some numbers. Let's take the former example, $37,500 a year pension coming from that employee retiring at age 60, all right? And let's adjust that for inflation, something similar to what we've seen over the last 18 to 20 months. Inflation's been running pretty hot. So we're gonna assume a 6.5% rate of inflation over a 2-year period until this employee gets to age 62. $37,500 times 6.5% first year, your purchasing power is reduced to $35,062, okay? Going year 2 from $35,062, another 6.5% inflation tacked on that, you now have a purchasing power of $32,753 on your original $37,500 a year pension. So about a $5,000 reduction in the purchasing power of your annuity benefits. Now, as we mentioned, inflation hasn't been much of a problem, in recent history until the last 18 to 22 months. But the problem is right now we're coming off of easy money policies, and the reckoning seems like it could continue to play out for quite a while. Inflation could be sticky. All right, next on the list, Social Security. You become eligible at age 62 to claim your benefits. Doesn't mean you have to, but you have the option. But the thing about this is there comes a significant trade-off. Did you know that if you claim at 62, you're locking in a 30% permanent reduction from your benefits you would receive at full retirement age if that was age 67, okay? So I'm gonna share a chart with you here that shows you the exact percentages up to age 70. Going from age 67 to 70, everybody knows we get an 8% raise each year on your benefits, so that becomes significant as well. Now, here's the thing about Social Security, right? It gives you a choice, and it's up to you to make the best decision. Taking it early might be the perfect fit, right? Any number of these ages between 62 and 70 could be the perfect time to take Social Security benefits. It just depends on your situation, which includes your assets, your income sources, and what you need. So really the key is to determine what role Social Security is going to play in your plan well in advance of age 62 or your retirement date, right? So in an ideal world, you want Social Security to be living in the background, just playing a supporting role to your other sources of income, your FERS annuity, distributions from investment accounts, from your TSP, other retirement accounts. And also another thing to consider, Social Security is calculated based on your top 35 years of earnings, okay? It's an average index of those top 35 years. So you have the potential, if you're still in your peak earning years, to go ahead and increase those benefits by continuing to work and delaying claiming benefits. So check out your estimates from Social Security Administration, SSA.gov. Just keep in mind, all the time, they don't really account for increases in your salary. Estimates can be a little off from what you're going to actually receive if you see income increases. And keep in mind, there's also a lot of unpredictable stuff in here, longevity being a big one. And those are the big three, the 1.1% multiplier, cost of living adjustments, as well as being eligible for Social Security. But there's a lot more to this conversation. So let's dig into it. Is the extra time worth the money? That's the biggest question, right? So it might seem obvious. If you continue to work and earn income, you're gonna have the ability to invest more, to save more in your retirement accounts, see potential growth to your assets as well as your income, all right? But there's also been a new development with the Secure Act 2.0. It now increases the amount you can put away as catch-up contributions in your employer-sponsored retirement plans, such as the TSP. If you're age 60, 61, 62, or 63, you're gonna be able to put away up to $10,000 or 150% of what that normal age 50 catch-up contribution is starting in 2025. So this gives you the option to just put away additional tax advantage money, which could be a help when we're talking about building assets and developing that longer term income plan. All right. So next on the list, adding extra years to your FERS annuity calculation. We touched on this a little bit, but when you're adding that extra year, you're adding, another 1% or another 1.1% to your annuity calculation. So let's say you have that $150,000 high three. Each year you work a little bit longer, you're going to add $1,500 if you're at the 1% multiplier, or $1,650 a year to your annuity if you're at the 1.1% multiplier. So guaranteed income is not easy to find, and to see increases consistently like that. So that could be a big deal. Social Security also can continue to see increases in your benefit amount. If you're at peak earnings years, you're adding to that 35-year index base at higher rates, your benefit's going to continue to go up, right? All right, but let's talk about the real elephant in the room. A lot of people I see, they don't really want to retire. It's just you don't want to be in federal service anymore, right? You've had your fill of it, too many meetings. I see it every day. So there's some strategies here that you can look at as well. I've seen this one work particularly well, retire and double dip. So move away from federal service, find a job that you're qualified for, experienced for, that's well paying. If you're eligible for an immediate annuity, start taking your immediate annuity, and then save that income if it works, right? Continue to build assets, and increase those savings amounts, or just enjoy the extra income. Or I'm going to leave you with one last option. That's just retiring, leaving federal service, and finding something you're passionate about, something that will pay the bills. Because look, if we're working, we're not spending, we're not consuming. So that's a positive, even if we're not continuing to add to the asset base, and you're doing something you enjoy and you love. So that's also another really viable option if the numbers work for you. I hope this helps provide a little bit of background information on age 62, on what the right retirement age might be. Everyone's situation is a little bit different. So would love to talk about your plan, what your situation looks like. If you want to have a conversation, please let me know. And I would love to hear what your ideal retirement looks like. What does retiring well look like to you?